Hello, everyone. This is Aziza Jalaluddin, co-founder for Shine, Self-Help International Network Enterprise, and co-founder for Enterprises Development Hub and our group of companies. This is an amazing morning and Sunday in Singapore, and we have with us an awesome friend and a brother from Chennai, India, with the Suresh Menon, founder and owner of Sushma MultiMedia, is joining us for the call today. It's going to be an exciting time with Brother Suresh. Let's hear it from him. Hello, Brother Suresh. How are you?
Good morning, Aziza. I've been very good. How are you?
I am very good. Please introduce yourself and what you do. And you're one of the pioneers and leaders in the industry when it comes to the kind of work that you do. Please share with us about what you do.
Yes, viewers, good morning from Chennai, India. I'm Suresh Menon, as you can see on the screen. I'm basically a filmmaker. I run a small studio, a creative house called the Sushma MultiMedia, which does all sorts of films, corporate films, documentaries, art films, and feature films, of course. So I do feature films myself. I'm more known as a documentary filmmaker. So this is what I do in short. Maybe as we go ahead with the conversation, you would get to know more.
That is a very humble way of presenting. I know you have more than 20 years in the experience in the industry. Am I right, brother? You
Yes,
didn't mention
yes.
that. That's a wealth of experience that we're talking about in Chennai and in India. So, brother, today's conversation is going to be around entrepreneurship in India and how it is viewed and how people are taking it in their stride in the various sectors, if at all, and how it can be further enhanced. That's probably the conversation will be on. So, brother Suresh, tell us a little bit more about what's the current status when it comes to entrepreneurship in India. And let's look at, even if it's looking at Tamil Nadu per se, please share about that.
Yes. Thank you, Aziza. Now, entrepreneurship in India. Yes, I would like to be more specific about the Tamil Nadu or maybe South India region for which I'm more familiar with. Now, looking at entrepreneurship, well, there is a there's a huge intelligent pool of people, youth who want to come out who have ideas, who want to come out, do something very meaningful, not just for themselves, for the society also. But yes, there are huge amount of hiccups too. Now, the startup hiccups apart, like getting funds and I mean, whatever, there are a huge amount of red tape also involved. But assuming that one entrepreneur, like how I started off, I'm able to cross all this and start a business. The very first speed breaker, I would say, that one would face is marketing. I'm a technocrat. I myself am a technocrat, and it's mostly technocrats who are entrepreneurs also. So they have very good ideas. They come up with some idea, but they are totally alien to the scene of marketing. So how do I find my first client? Number one, this is the biggest problem for an entrepreneur. Let me tell you, an entrepreneur, okay, he might have his cousin who wants some product, maybe wants a laptop, wants something, some gizmo to be plugged onto the laptop. But that is, I don't consider that as a customer. A customer is someone who hears you, hears about you, listens to you, comes over, buys the product. That is where the satisfaction lies, and keeping that customer happy. So this is a huge area where entrepreneurs in India fail. There are a huge amount of fantastic ideas, but they don't know how to take it to the market. So this is something that I would like to emphasize on, Aziza.
Yeah, that is a very good point you brought up because and in ours, you see the back here, we have a entrepreneurship journey process that we have recognized in our last 12 years of consulting and coaching and mentoring on entrepreneurs in Singapore, Malaysia, India, and those who are based here. We're talking about US people and others who come to us in this region. We have been consulting them, and we have identified. You are talking about market mechanism. Actually, is in step two, and we actually work on what we call this the first process, which we feel is the missing link in terms of moving forward. You brought up the idea about marketing, and we have it that even before they step into marketing, there's a very high need to be connected, empowered, and aligned. Because it's not about just thinking of an idea and then jumping into it. And that's what most entrepreneurs do. You agree with me?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like the actually this connecting and aligning, I would put it as part of getting into the entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Yeah. So I started off after I become an entrepreneur. Now what? So basically, yes, I went into step two. You're right.
Yes. So actually, I would love to hear about your journey. You know, this is about you when you said how you started. You know, in 20 years right now, you have gone through that journey of getting that first client, correct? So
Yeah.
is there something you can share with us, like what hurdles you went through in your personal life as well?
Hi. That's hope it doesn't bring tears to my eyes, or neither, and hope it doesn't bring tears to others' eyes. No, but let me put it in a very polished way. Yes, the I started off approximately yes in 1994 November, so that's more than 20 years, in fact. And it was a passion. Now I didn't know where to start. Visual images were my passion, and I didn't have money to buy a camera. So I found someone who was willing to lend his camera for 100 rupees, Indian rupees a day in those days, which should be, I mean, I wouldn't say it was expensive, but it was a studio, but 100 rupees is fair enough for a high-end camera. So now I know I have the camera. So I took it out for 2 days, played around with it. So I need to understand the product as in fact how where are the buttons and things like that, and I started setting off to find my first client. It was very, very tough. It took me, I would say, 20 hours of work a day for almost a month, continuous, even on Sundays, to find my first client. I was totally new to business. I was scared of even exposing myself. I wasn't a good public speaker. I didn't know how to talk to strangers. I knew there is some stranger out there who wants my services. Because photography, I started photography, in fact. So photography, yes, it's being used everywhere. And the problem was to find who was that first person. And it was by an accident. And it was an actual accident. Because as I was moving on my two-wheeler, I found a broken down car. I mean, the car had rammed into a tree on the highway. And I was just wondering this. There was one man sitting over there and wondering what to do. And it was the time when cell phones just started coming into India. So one call would cost 36 rupees, which is huge. So people generally use it as a pager. So in those days, so this man was there, and I just went up to him gingerly because I was not too sure whether he would talk to me because he was a stranger. So I asked him, "Sir, can I? What happened?" I asked him. I didn't ask him, "Can I help you?" So what happened? He said, "Can't you see what has happened? I rammed into a tree." Okay, sir, I'm sorry. Now you need any help? He said, "Yes, I don't have a phone. I don't know whom to call. So I've been trying to waving down the other vehicles. No one stops." That was the start. It turned out that this person was the managing director of a unique company. I don't want to mention the name now, unless Aziza, you wanted to be mentioned. This man was my first client, so I helped him out. He wasn't injured or anything. I just helped him reach back home. So then he said, I'm so happy that you did this. And he gave me his business card and asked me to come to his office the next day. In fact, he didn't ask me what I was doing. He didn't ask me a single word. Maybe he just wanted to thank me. So the next day when I went to his place, he asked me what I do. And he asked me, can you shoot this, shoot this? He showed me around his plant. These are the photographs that I have right now. I'm not happy with it. Can you shoot these tomorrow morning? Wow. So that was my first order. And when I delivered it, literally, uh, he hugged me and he started crying. In fact, he said, it's over for 7, 8 years now. I've been trying for photographs like these. And from there, my business has always been on referrals. He referred me to at least 10 people, who in turn kept referring me to several other people. So today, honestly, I don't do marketing. So today I don't need to market. It just comes in with referrals. So that's it, Aziza.
Wow, that is so powerful a testimony. Actually, everybody will be in their mind wondering what who that person is. Are you okay to share? Because
I'm
it's like your first client. Yeah, please share. I think it's perfectly good.
Yeah, absolutely no problem. His name is PV Kuti. PVKUTTY. He runs a company called Alpha Helical Pumps in Coimbatore. And
Wow.
you can look
Next.
out on the internet, alphapumps.com. I'm proud of announcing his name, and I'm sure he will also be proud. And the best fact is, even today, he continues to be one of my most valued clients.
Wonderful. That's what we need. We need people to be recognized in these medias. Like that's what we do in our work. We want everybody to know that the power of media is there, and that referral. You actually nailed it. Entrepreneurships and business deals go really big with these kind of word of mouth referrals, and that's where we really want entrepreneurs to hit and business people. Like right now, 20 years down, you are talking about him and he's talking about you. There's no doubt about that. That this relationship building is so important, isn't it? And that's how we met too. Even though
Precisely. Yes,
and,
yes, you're
and
right.
how relationship has blossomed, and the value of giving and receiving, and that is something that you have pointed out very aptly, the importance of getting into the skills of self, be it education, be it the business network. Can you imagine if, let's say, right now the entrepreneurs, you have very aptly put right the first part, connecting, aligning, and empowering. If you had someone to have you work with you and mentor you, would that have been better? What do you think?
I regret that you're asking me this question 20 years after I started my business,
Don't
Aziza.
regret. I'm sorry that. So now
Well,
that
I did attend a few training programs around 4, 5 years back, and something similar on basically self-improvement programs, for businessmen and entrepreneurs, public speaking skills and things like that, just 4 years back. So that is around 16 to 17 years after I started my business. And I was cursing myself. Why the hell didn't you come to me 17, 18 years back? Yeah, maybe okay, I didn't have that money then. That is a different issue. I'm not coming to that. But at least I would have got some input and I would have started my business at an entirely different level. Maybe to start with, I would have been at a level 10 years after I started my business. I saw so much of potential. In fact, all my PR work also, I understood the value of communicating with people on a continuous basis, which I call as public relations. All my PR work, I just started 4, 5 years back after someone gave me this nyan that you need to talk to people. He should have told me 17, 18 years back. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, so but that's a very powerful space to be in. Being an business person. I mean, you have evolved from being a entrepreneur, just having ideas, into a businessman who have your own setup, and regardless of the size of whatever that you say in your humble ways, you have a huge network of people that work with you, and also you collaborate with. I know you have a fantastic network in South India, and I'm sure it also spans up to North India as well, right?
Yes, yes. In fact, I work with people all around the world today. No
Oh, yeah.
issues.
Yeah, so based on that, you see, you have brought up the point, the importance of continuous learning, right?
Yes, yes.
So,
Continuous learning.
and right now, talking on that topic, there is a lot of resistance to learning among, or at least, to our idea. When I say resistance to learning, is in front of like meeting up with people, like what you said, 5 years ago, you attended some training and to learn on all of whatever that you feel will work for you. There is still resistance for business people like you to attend classes. Why do you think that's so?
Uh, Resistance to attend such classes is maybe, I mean, not, it's not maybe, like, maybe I just feel that all this is below me. I don't
Hmm.
need all this. It is just, I would say, an attitude. I would, yeah, rather putting it, it's like an attitude issue.
Hmm.
Okay, because see, recently I've just joined another business group in India.
Wow.
So I was also trying to pull in a couple of people, So they were saying, no, I don't think it's beneficial and things like that. But once inside, I see 70-year-old people coming and attending training sessions. In fact, the eldest person was around 77 years. He runs a string of businesses, of course, but still he's attending this training session. I was amazed at how young he considers himself. He's still young enough to continuously keep learning. So I think there should not be any resistance. If I can be of any help to entrepreneurs in India and worldwide to shed the inhibitions, well, let me know. I would be a brand ambassador.
You're definitely an ambassador for that one because when we first met, I saw the open and receptiveness that you have to meeting up and collaborating and learning. And when I talked to you about, you remember the Siddha work that could probably come up and everything, and you were like, "Yes, I don't know much, but I'm going to learn about it." And I think
Yes,
it's also got to do with this. You see, just now you mentioned someone 77 years old and still wants to learn, and he's got a string of business. Did you
yes,
say that, right? So we're
yes,
actually looking at people who are already successful in up a certain way that they want to be more successful and they want to have more, not just for themselves but also for the world. That is the desire that keeps us going. And if let's say someone is up to something really powerful, they will see the importance of being together, learning together, and all of that. And so
yes.
coming to the question about this groups that is being created, I love to hear more about it because we also talk a lot about networking skills, like the importance of coming together. Because you also mentioned that that was one of your key factor in your business development as well, where it's word of mouth, and word of mouth happens only when you keep connecting and coming together with other business people. So do you do a lot of that?
Yes. In fact, I do a lot of networking. I would say 50-60% of my time goes in networking of my business time. 50-60% of my time. Networking, I would say, is a term that others would say just meeting up with people. But I mean, looking at the practical side of things, I would say it's my marketing time. Marketing time, in the sense, not go dressed up, all suited up. Sir, good morning, sir. I am so and so. Please, I do this. No, I don't need to do that. Instead, I just go do what I like with a group of people, and the business automatically comes in. So that is what I call networking, and it's part of the marketing effort. So yes, I do spend a lot of time on this.
Okay, So you are talking about just the two core, when you talk about education that you're on continuously and then networking that you keep doing continuously, in our Money and You and our Accelerated Business School, we call it leverage. We call education as the highest form of leverage. That means, you learn it once
Yeah.
and then you have it for your lifetime.
Yes.
And business networking is like you go to one place, and then I love it when you say it's marketing time, and that is so important, and we call it income generating activities. Our
Yes.
mentor Jennifer Cordova, who will be coming to Chennai for the business mission, she always talks about the importance being in income generating activities. And when you say marketing and you see business networking as marketing, because you know the techniques to it, I really can see that, because if you can go to a business networking and call it marketing, and at the end of the day you have to turn them into sales, it's really an income generating activity. At 50% to 60% on that is an amazing time to be in. So that's
Yeah.
also leverage. You do, instead of going one time to meet one person, you go one time to
Yeah.
meet a group of people, and that is so powerful, because that's more with less. Leverage is about more with less. And
Mm,
we actually have a game in our business mission that you will be playing. I'm sure you're going to get a lot more distinction on that. Like
mm.
right now, I'd love to discuss a little bit on our business mission. You have signed up for our business mission India, happening in June 11 to 15,
15th. Yeah.
and that's happening in Chennai. And I would love to know what really inspired you to be part of it.
Uh, I can't hear you. Come again, Aziza.
Okay. What really inspired you to be part of the business mission India?
Okay, okay. See, I discovered that the moment I'm inside, I'm going to meet a lot of people. Whether I do business or not today or tomorrow, I'm sure that maybe 5 years down the line, I would do business with at least one of those 100 people I'm going to meet.
Hmm.
And
Fantastic.
that alone is worth it. See, I was just looking at your pricing structure. Yes, 1.5 lakhs might be a bit stiff to most Indian in the Indian scenario, but forget being a businessman. Even on the technocrat's point of view, who doesn't know much of business, now 1.5 lakhs at a minimum of say 25% business profits is a turnover of a mere 6 lakhs. Okay, so and if he feels that he can get a turnover of or he can get to know people who will give him a business income of between 6 to 10 lakhs in the next 2 3 years, I feel that it is worth this investment of 1.5 lakhs. So so that is it. That's a simple thing. I mean, these are the two factors that made me join you and join the event.
Wow, I think that you have placed it very nice, and I have to tell you one of the success stories that we have, and among many. If you go to www.moneyandyou.com, we get to see all the testimonies of all the people who have attended our programs by the Accelerated Business School, which is part of the business mission. Is really about the big names in the market. We're talking about entrepreneurs. There's a lot of Indians who have attended, and they're outside India, and a lot of them actually go back to India as well. But right now, why we are having it in India is because it's very brand new. And if you know names like Robert Kiyosaki, Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul, T. Half Acre, Anthony Robbins, and a lot of other names, if we talk about businesses, that they are from this accelerated business school. So there is no doubt that we are coming with the mother of all programs. People are excited about self-development, but this is mother of all programs. So coming to the question about the pricing, how much, one of the success stories we have, who has been applying our money making system uh, in the last 1.5 years, is our founder for Collaborate India, Bharati Raja Thangapalam. He actually calculated, and he told me just last month, I mean in April, Akka, I've invested about 15 lakhs in self-development just in the last 1.5 years, because he traveled to Singapore to attend our program. and all around. And he said that he has increased his business by 300%. So he made that kind of money just by investing in himself and because he traveled out. So right now we are offering an opportunity for people to learn in India, and that's why it's not even 15 lakhs, it's 10% of that. And if you can, like I love it when brother Suresh, you just mentioned something like, it's 25% of a profit. I love the way you positioned it. If someone gets 10 lakhs income and they have only invested like 25%, I mean 15 to 20% of what they are making, and that's amazing number to work at. But at the same time, we're also looking at making profits. His income, to increase your profits by 300%. That will be something very exciting, isn't it, brother?
Yes, yes, definitely. This 300% is, in fact, easily achievable. With a good network of people, 300% is very easily achievable. Not an issue at all.
I keep
Come.
muting it because my computer has got this effect that will distort the conversation.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I kind of go blank. Okay. So what happens is right now, as we speak about it, we're gonna round up the session with a little bit of info on the business mission India. So, brother, do you have anything to say for our business people? Because you are someone who's been in the business for 20 years. You are going to be there, and maybe you want to share a little bit about what you stand for, and what do you want to see our community coming up in the business mission. How do you please invite them on your behalf.
Yes. Now, okay, let me, let me put it the Indian way of, because as far as Indians are concerned, you just invite them for a business mission, they wouldn't come in, I'm sure. So you need to justify it another way. Okay, let me put forth an argument. Being 20 years in the business, I have very recently learned that my time is also to be valued. That is, my work also has a man hour rate. It is not only the employees who have a man hour rate, the CEO of the company also has a man hour rate, which is at least 10 times the man hour rate of the mid level employee in your organization, which is quite huge. Yeah, the man hour rate. So now looking at it, let me simply assume that my daily time of whatever business time I spend is being valued at around 10,000 rupees a day, or say 5,000 rupees a day. Now, the amount of time that I would spend in trying to meet 100 people. How many people are attending the place, Aziza?
The participants, and because we are having people coming in, so a lot of people from around the world are gathering in India. So it includes in America, in Singapore, in Malaysia, in New Zealand.
Yeah.
We have centers of influence coming from China, Indonesia, and Brunei, and all these countries.
Yeah.
So
How
we
many?
are at least about 100 to 150 people to be in the room. And on the fifth day, we're going to have more people step in and flying in as well, because it's a very special celebration night, day, with a
Yeah.
lot of connections happening. So that is going to be probably a total of at least 200 to 300, 200 people at least will be present.
Yes, that's fantastic information to the listeners. Now, forget 200, forget 250, forget 300. Let's assume Aziza is lying, but we can safely assume that Aziza will bring in 100 people, because otherwise it's not worth her all her effort to come down to Chennai from Singapore. Now, assuming 100 people and 50 people are from outside the world, let it be in the closest place of Singapore. Now, to meet one person from Singapore, if you're going to meet him, you will any Indian would have to spend a minimum of 16,000 on airfare, plus maybe 70 to $70 a day on lodging in Singapore, spending 2 days. So which might boil down to around 25,000 rupees to meet one person. Now, this is one platform we Indians are getting to meet 100 different people at a throwaway price of 1.5 lakhs, which in my experience is just the cost of trying to network with six people. There is no guarantee that every person you meet is going to network with you, but here you have 100 plus people who have come there with a specific purpose of networking. And I mean, it's a bullseye. You throw darts, it's a bullseye, because everyone are there only for networking. So, well, looking at it in the commercial point of view, yes, definitely. And 5 days, spending 5 days, yeah. Initially, even I had my doubts. Oh God, 5 working days, full working days. How do I spend? But then looking at things, we hardly work for 100 days in a year with all the strikes and holidays and religious holidays, Sundays. Then what's going to happen if I work for 5 days lesser in a year, say 95 days? That's it. Take it cool. You're getting, in fact, the benefit is you get introduced to another 100, 200 people. So that's it.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to give you a lot of heads up on what's going to happen so that you get even more excited about, the 5 days. So it's going to be in a four-star environment aloft Chennai. And for those who are traveling from other parts of India, you will be rest assured that, you're going to be in India, in Chennai, but the room is going to be made up of our friends who are our lead instructors who are from America, our logistics team who is from America. So it's going to be, a different atmosphere. So you're going to experience international presence in Chennai. So it's going to be very refreshing, step one. And everybody's going to communicate in English. So it's an English program, step two. And then what's going to be happening is also that this 5 days that you're going to spend, we're going to be playing games. We don't use PowerPoints in our presentations. Not even one PowerPoint will be presented as a training module. Maybe we may do introductions, with slides, but there won't be any kind of trainings that will be done with PowerPoints. It's all going to be games. And please be assured, not going to put you into the sun and do some outbound training. None of that. It's all four-star business trainings that's going to be conducted. So you can go to moneyandyou.com to find out about our whole brain learning techniques that is very, very crucial for business people to think in a certain way. So the people that are coming, like what I mentioned earlier, they are business people, they are entrepreneurs, they are investors. So after the 4 days of business networking and coming together to learn about some basic principles of money and you, we're talking not only about money and you, it's actually generalized principles about doing business and overcoming certain belief systems that we have about money, about doing business. Sometimes we have things like money is the root of all evil, and we can't do business with family, or I don't, how do you create a team that is very aligned? All these questions. There are some basic, very, very generalized principles that will be shared in the program as part of a business training through games. So it's going to be very experiential. It's going to be whole brain. So you get to implement it in your life. So with that, on the 5th day, we're going to have a networking session where we get you connected with people that you will want to meet. That means before the program, we'll ask you, so who do you want to meet and what are the connections you want? So based on that, when the people come, when we connect you, it could be people that is already there, or it could be connections that our network will be providing you. The centers of influences are going to be there. So Singapore Malay Chambers, the business commerce organization in Singapore, will be one of the is one of the supporting bodies. So they will also be a center of influence for us to refer to many of the organizations. So it's going to be a very exciting place to be at for the 5 days in June. And brother Suresh, that we already have some referrals for you. It was so exciting that when we were in our event yesterday with our Chinese network, they were talking about the particular business. It's a secret between you and me, so I will not. The moment they mentioned that there was people coming in, the work is for Chinese and also for the English speaking market. And they were talking about just China and Indonesia, in Taiwan and all these places. They didn't mention India, for that matter. I was like, oh my God, that is exactly the industry Brother Suresh is, and he's attending. So obviously you are the first in my list of people to ever connect anyone to of that nature. So you actually get that kind of opportunities. Was it
Yeah.
exciting for you? I love to hear from you. Is that an exciting offer that has been put to you?
Aziza, you're being very mean to me by saying it's a secret. It was absolutely exciting, and well, I'm caught between vintage and the future. You understand what I mean?
Absolutely. That is what we want to do. And in our network, we are holding centers of influence. So if we can be centers of like if you see me as one person who can connect, there will be at least half the room that are connectors. So we're
Yes.
talking about Dame DC Cordova, who's coming, the owner of Accelerated Business School. She has 100,000 graduates globally, and she's connected with a huge network of people in various industries, from energy to real estate to various bodies in America, in Australia, in New Zealand, in China, because our Accelerated Business School is very successful in China. And just now, brother, you mentioned about being in the networking. It's also very important that we network and be working with people of reliable, trusted resources, because a lot of people are afraid to come to India for many reasons. So we don't want to judge that. It's just that their past experiences. So we want to give them a very trusted and a space that we talked about this. So we're going to connect, align, and empower all our business people coming together, so that they come together with a clear identity of certain level of communication and understanding, and then we can guide them through to the market mechanism, which will also be presented, which is about strategies, what you asked just now about marketing and all of that. And we will have a lot of expertise and specialities available. So everyone who's coming, and then we talk about global expansion. So the last one is the global expansion. So we connect. I'm reading out because it's a bit small.
Yeah.
So the first process is connect, align, and empower. Second process is to execute with market mechanism, inspiring with capital mechanism. We have the Miracles of Capital network being presented in the business mission as well. And that is something very exciting for entrepreneurs, because it's no longer about you working alone, but how do you get a whole new perspective to growing your business into a very huge empire, becoming a bankable business. That is something in our portfolio too. And then we talk about global expansion. So even when you talk about global expansion in India, we're talking about not just coming from Chennai to East Singapore, but Chennai to around India. That's already global expansion, right, brother?
Yeah.
I spoke
Yes.
much
Yes.
on that. What do you think about that? The mindset about people, not moving out of Chennai, or having the restrictions.
See, the mindset of people not moving out of Chennai is basically fear. That is all. Because um, otherwise, I don't see any reason why people are not moving out of Chennai. Okay, because business is there. Once they've tasted the business, they know how to run the business. Still, there is a fear to go out of Chennai, simply because different languages, different cultures, different people. So once they get used to networking, I think global is not just India; it can go worldwide also from Chennai, no doubt about it.
Yes, exactly. And you remind me of a success story we have of a Chennai friend who is based in, doing a sari business. We connected him with people in Singapore. He flew down. He doesn't speak English. So it was such a, inspiring thing to watch him speak in Tamil. When people speaking to him in English, he replies in Tamil or communicates in Tamil. But he had that drive and that courage to do that. He also spent about, 15,000 Singapore dollars to be a part of this business expansion work that we do for global entrepreneurs.
Mm.
So he came here, and we also connected him with people in Malaysia. So in the end, he had a very wonderful connections in Asia for his sari business to take it off. So this is some of the, we have a lot of success stories among Indians. So like what you said, the fear is the first step to meet international people. But once they meet, global expansion is not just about going out of Chennai or out of the individual, be it out of Delhi or Bombay or anywhere. It's also really about coming together as one India. And our mission is very much into uplifting Indian business communities and also business communities globally in an effective way, that they contribute to social prosperity and social, global prosperity as well. So this is very, very important, and our business mission in India is targeted toward that. So rounding that off, I think we had a very fun chat with Brother Suresh Menon. Brother, do you have any last words to say before? Like final call for action that you would love us to conclude it with.
Well, you said this was a very fun chat. I don't think it was fun. I hope listeners are not abusing me at this point of time. Well, my final call is uh, my brothers, my countrymen, especially those in and around Chennai and throughout India, of course. I don't know you, you don't know me well, but I've been in business for 20 years. You can Google out for my name. You'll know what I am, who I am. I have nothing to do with Aziza. I have nothing to do with this organization of hers. I have nothing to do with money and you. But yet, if you trust me, come in simply for the reason that you're going to meet a huge number of people who are interested in meeting people like you. That's the most important. Even they have been looking to meet people like you. You just wouldn't realize where the treasure chest lies, where the fortune lies. There are several stories, maybe, of, in fact, just a month back, there was a story. I'll make it short, very short. There was one person who runs a small, uh, people in India would know what a petty shop is. There's a small petty shop guy over here. He sells these small cigarettes and mithai, the sweets and things like that. Now he's been struggling very hard in his family. No one knows what he's been doing because he doesn't expose himself too much. He's around 45, 50 years old. And there was one person also who used to regularly come in the mornings and evenings with his with his lungi and shirt, buy one cigarette, smoke, and go and say hi, go. This is the type of the business that he was running in, and he was a very cheerful guy. A month, not even a month. It was only 2 weeks back. This man again was coming in, and he asked for a cigarette. But this petty shop person, well, he was a bit out of his mood when this guy asked, "How are you?" and things like that. So he asked him, "What's your problem?" He said, "Nothing, nothing. What is your nothing? I'm a bit upset." So this person who came to buy the cigarette again asked him, "Tell me what your problem is." Then this petty shop man said, "Sir, I don't know who you are. You come every day, morning and evening, buy a cigarette and go away. Now, I have struggled so hard to educate my child, a girl child. Now, she wants to join for medicine. So, she wants to become a doctor. So, now the marks are not that high so as to get into the merit. So, I just hopped around in colleges for management seats. The minimum, the closest college here is 50 lakh Indian rupees. Now, in my lifetime, I will not see that amount of money. So I'm depressed that my daughter will not be a doctor. I'm depressed that all my efforts in educating her till now is going in vain. She is also going to go as a housemaid, just like my wife. So this man said, "Give me the application number." So the shop guy was amused. What's this man sitting with a lungi and standing on a lungi and a banyan one summer morning who comes for one cigarette and he's asking me for this. He said, "Come, please give it to me." This man immediately under pressure, he finally gives him the name of the college, the name of the candidate, the application number. And the good news is, 4 days back, this petty shop owner has received a letter stating that this college has granted his daughter a seat, a medical seat. Now, how did this happen? Who was this idiot who used to come in a lungi and a banyan twice a day, mornings and evenings for a cigarette? It so happened that he was the personal security guard of, I don't mind mincing words, of the ex-chief minister of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so he was able to exert his influence and help the petty shop owner. So what I intend telling you is never underestimate anyone. You will never know where the good lies. You can never say that the 200 people I'm going to meet there or the 100 people I meet there do not belong to my category of business. You can never know. Who knows? You're not God. So this is all I have to say to wind up. Welcome. Let's all meet you. Let me meet you all at least. Let me meet you all at the event. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, brother. That was really a moving story and it's so inspiring. And I know right now, as everybody watches this, that I don't have anything else to say. Join us on June 11 to 15, 2015, this year in Aloft, Chennai for Business Mission India. God bless you. God bless India. And we're so looking forward to meeting all of you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aziza.
Thank you, brother, for joining us on the call too. Thank you so
Welcome.
much for
Welcome.
your
It's
time.
been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Bye bye.
Bye.